Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all having a lovely start to your day. I am Sam. I am the product specialist for Learnable here in the product demo center, just to give you a 20-minute demo on this piece of assistive technology that we are representing here at ATIA. We also have another product called ProStudy as well. If you want any more information, please come and see me afterwards or come over to the booth. We've got some lovely English chocolate there that you can grab a few of, and if you want a free copy of this as well, I'll be more than happy to give any of you guys one as well, so you can try it out for yourself. But I haven't told you what it is yet, so that's probably a good place to start. So, what is Learnable? So, Learnable is an exam preparation tool, basically kind of from all ages, from high school, college, university. And it's kind of a comprehensive and holistic solution for the entire kind of revision study process. Basically, it's been developed because we need more diverse and personalized study methods. I think when it comes to exam preparation and studying for exams and tests, there's not a lot of kind of methods out there. People get set an exam, it's so many weeks at the end of the semester potentially. You learn week by week more material that's going to be on there. And then what you'll find is when it comes to studying, you may make flashcards, you may read notes, and that's about as far as everyone gets. And that's not very engaging. And often people with perhaps additional needs can get distracted by things like that, especially like ADHD. So Learnable basically doesn't focus on a single method of study. It has 10 different study methods built into it. So there's variety in there that the students can engage with, such as flashcards, concentration, fill in the blanks, and we'll have a look at a couple of these today. One thing to kind of just remember as well is Learnable is designed to be a year-round study aid. It's not a cramming tool. You add new material week by week, and that kind of is a scaffold approach to learning, which is really useful, kind of promoting spaced repetition and retrieval practice, which are effective ways of learning when it comes to preparing for exams. So who is Learnable for? I mean, I think it could probably be for everybody, but that's how assistive technology works, isn't it? But just to kind of give you a few ideas of the way it supports people, especially in the UK where we're from. ADHD. I think if you perhaps told someone with ADHD, go off and read your notes, ready for your exam, how long you can kind of stay on that task can be quite difficult. But Learnable has interactive and engaging methods. I think if you can gamify your study process, that's going to increase engagement for you and help you focus your attention on your study material. Dyslexia and dyspraxia as well. There's a multisensory learning approach to Learnable. It can help with improving spelling, help with your terminology and your definitions. There's a mock exam feature in here as well, because Learnable is all about feeding it what you've learned, and it extracts from what you put in, which then becomes the study methods that are built in the software. Visual impairments as well. There's text-to-speech functionality built into this. There's also a record audio feature. Again, you can speak your notes out loud, have them saved within Learnable, listen back to them whenever you want. Just to continue this a little bit more, then we're going to get into the demo. Certainly students with ASC definitely kind of appreciate more routine and predictability when it comes to the learning process. Learnable has a really structured approach to revision, and everything in here is really, or hopefully really simple and easy to use. Basically, every study strategy that's in there, sometimes I call them study strategies, sometimes I call them games because they are quite fun, has written instructions of how to use them clearly, and also says why using them is going to benefit the student too. And that really helps. And if anyone has kind of time management issues, Learnable has a study planner that's built in, and you can add your calendar in there with your schedule of classes, and then you can tell Learnable when to make sessions that best work for your time. And finally, mental health conditions as well. I think when it comes to exams, the words stress and anxiety, if you were playing word association, don't come too far behind. That's why I've bolded them in there. I always think the two main things about Learnable is to increase engagement in students' study material and build confidence in themselves and the knowledge that they know, so they're in the best prepared state for when they come to take their tests. As well as the study planner, there's also a well-being area built in there, which has just another layer of emotional support. So it's got advice on how to study, food, breaks, the environment which you study in. So there's a bit of a resource in there which is helpful too. So that's a little bit about what Learnable is and who it can help. But let's have a look at it and see what it can do. So here it is. So Learnable is effectively a web app in a website. So you can use that on your Chromebook, your PC, your Mac. You could even use it on an iPad as well on certain elements. It's not quite ready for phones yet, but that might be something we're working on this year. What I'm going to do is show you kind of how a student gets stuck in and starts feeding it his material. So at the top, we have add exam resources. So the way you feed Learnable what you've been learning is through the process of adding topic cards in. So you can set your exam up. One thing as well in terms of adding material into Learnable, this can happen in three ways. It can be the student adding material in. The tutor has an option to upload materials into this program. And we also have an AI element in terms of generating content based on what your exam is as well. So there's kind of three ways in which you can input material into Learnable. But first off, you have to put your exam in. And again, in terms of where it fits in terms of age range, because the content you put in is yours, it doesn't really matter what level of education it is because it's extracting on what the material that you put in. So you can be in high school, college, university. That's all absolutely fine. So my example is they've got an anatomy class, human anatomy. So I'm going to put my exam in. I've got a human anatomy exam. If I can type properly. Let's just call it 101. Oh yeah, I'm terrible at typing today. There we go. Put the location. I'm in Florida today. The time and date of the exam. Let's say it's in a couple of months' time, in April. And let's say it's at 9:15. Cool. So, you add the material through the formation of these topic cards. So this is where that scaffold approach to learning comes in. So week by week, the students will log in, come into here, and this is a study session in itself, so it gives them the chance to see what notes they took from class, maybe even have another piece of assistive technology that they use for that, for note-taking, where they can read and transfer those things into here. So first week in our anatomy class, we did the heart. We learned about the heart. So I'm going to put that as the topic. And I just took my notes on Microsoft Word today. So I wrote a definition. I've got that there. Just going to copy and paste that in. And I've got some study notes as well that I took from class. So again, this is a study session itself. It gives me a chance to either expand on notes, be more concise if I didn't take that many that day either. We can add these in. If you use other assistive technologies such as Dragon to dictate, you can dictate in there fine as well. We can add images, which I will do with the press of the button. There we go. Got a few pictures of the heart there. And then the next week comes along, and you can then add the next topic card of what you've got from there too. So as I mentioned before, there's kind of three methods of adding things in. So one of the methods is using these auto-generate functions which uses AI. So let's say I did the brain in week 2. So if perhaps I wasn't kind of focused that day, or I was ill, I couldn't take many notes in class, I can use auto-generate to help me. So I can get key terms and definitions generated for me, and it'll base it on what your topic is and what your name of your exam is. So it knows I'm doing anatomy, and it knows that this week was all about the brain. So there you go, it's giving me definitions of parts of the brain. It's all about anatomy. You can even do a note generation as well. This is just a small summary. You can do 50 or 100 words. But again, it just gives you a bit of content, perhaps to go off, do some studying, do some research, and add some more material in there as well. So this is where the students will be interacting mostly week by week until the time comes to start studying for the exam. So we can save this, and we can go back. It'll then take you to your exam section, and you can see all of your exams that you might have if you've got different topics, because again, because of the content you're putting in, it doesn't kind of matter what subject you've got, because it's all based on what your notes are. So you'll see I've got a few different exams in here with a few different topic cards, which will load up in a second. but we all know what the internet's like. There we go. I've got rivers of the world going on. I've got history with the D-Day landings. I've got zoology. I've even got Spanish in there as well. Be a great way to kind of practice with some of the games in there, some of the terminology and phrases. So, once the feeding process is done, we're going to want to start studying, start looking at these methods that we have in here, finding what's right for us. So, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, which is choose which exam you want to study on, choose your area of focus. This is optional, but this just kind of adds a level of personalization to the methods that are there. So there's 10 different study methods built into Learnable, but they are in kind of different styles. So you can tell it, I want to work on comprehension and creative thinking today. And then that will change what study methods are available here. So you can cycle through, you can see them, you can click on them, and then it'll load. So the one I've chosen is fill in the blanks. This one's quite simple, easy to kind of figure out what it is, but if you're unsure how to play any of the methods in Learnable, you just press I, and it tells you how to use it, but it also tells you why doing that particular method is going to be useful for you. Doing fill in the blanks is great for self-assessment, it's great for comprehending your text, it's motivating you to read the text because you've actually got a bit of gamification there because the words are missing, and that should help with memory retention as well. We can make this easy or hard, so you can actually turn that on and give you a multiple choice element to it. You can also refresh and stay on that particular topic for a while as well. So if you really want to concentrate on that paragraph or section of notes, then that's great. Or if you want to jump to what you did the next week, the skin, if you really like this method, you can jump to that topic card and it will load those notes up for you as well. So as I go through, I can start reading. Let's just jump to here. The epidermis is the outermost something, which I think might be layer. There we go. It's made up of several, sublayers. Yeah, there we go. Thought I put the wrong one in then. It provides a protective barrier against the environment and contains cells such as melanocytes that produce melanin. Something, the skin, is colour. I think that's giving. Okay. There we go. And I'll just guess the last two just to kind of finish it off really quickly because we've only got 7 minutes left. There we go. Reveal the words, and there we go. I got them all right. But as I said, if you like that method, you can keep staying on it and move it on there. As I said, this is one of 10 different methods, and they're all just to kind of show you how different they can be. Maybe I want to focus my attention, and I want to go speed and efficiency this time. I'm going to switch it up to a different exam. And we're going to look at concentration. So concentration is a bit like flashcards, but on steroids. It's a great way of trying to learn your key terms and definitions. You can even time yourself on this one if you want. One thing I would say is quite good about this is I've used this example a few times now, and I know it works because I've remembered all the terminologies now. So once I start, I flip it over, I have a term, evaporation. I just need to find where the definition is. That was the process of water seeps becomes groundwater. I think that's infiltration. There we go, so I've got to try and find them now. The movement over water and land, usually that's runoff, which I think was runoff over here? No, that's evaporation. Oh, there we go, I've got that one, that was good. Right, and we can flip them over. Precipitation, let's see what we can find. Runoff, there we go. Runoff was there, wasn't it? There we go. Excellent. Infiltration, I think that might be there. We've only got a couple left now. Condensation, I've not flipped that one yet. Any form of water, that was precipitation, that was there. There we go. And we've got my last one, which is condensation. There we go. But that's if you keep repeating that, can just help embed what your key terms and definitions might be. But just to kind of show the contrasting elements of the methods that are built into Learnable, there's something, hopefully there's something in there for everybody that they can engage with and stay positive on. Let's go back. I'll just kind of read out the different ones that they have. I'm not going to show each one because we just don't have time. But there's flashcards, mnemonics, read, recover, retell, recheck, which is quite good. We can record audio into here. You can read a minute, bullet a minute, which is called Rambam. There's a funneling system, which is a great way for kind of summary skills. You can do Cornell notes, fill in the blanks which we've seen. We've got text-to-speech to listen back to your notes. You can even do a thing called create a meme as well, and again, that's maybe for a visual type person who can want to share with their classmates of something to remember. It also mentioned it does have help and advice for being prepared for your study sessions. So there's a well-being and tips area about managing stress, staying active, all those kind of things there if students need to find anything more out. We also mentioned that you can have a study planner built into this software. I'll just step back a bit. The study planner is great for those who've got time management issues and need to find the right time when they work best for their study sessions. So you can import your calendar from Google, Outlook, or iCal, and that will put all of your classes into here. Then if you create a study plan, you can then tell it which exam you want to do. So I'll do human anatomy, for example, the topics that we had, which are the skin, the heart, and the brain. And then what it'll do is when it creates the study plan, it knows what date your exam is. You can tell it when you work best. So I'm a morning person, so between 7 and 11 would work well. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I have less class, so that's better. I feel focused in the morning, and I've got ADHD, so 20-minute sessions is probably as much as I can kind of cope with at the time. So once you do that, what it'll do is it'll create the study plan sessions into the calendar for you. I've got one that's from yesterday that I haven't deleted, but you can see I've got double sessions in there now. But you can just export that calendar, and that'll be an iCal file which you can import back onto your phone or onto your email, and then you'll get notifications of when to study with Learnable. So the final thing I want to show you is the mock exam feature as well. As I said, all this is about increasing engagement and building confidence for the student. So the mock exam feature is a great way of just kind of testing yourself, just to see how you've been getting on. It'll create a little test for you. Again, you can switch to what exam you've got. And if you've already used the mock exam feature as well, it will show you previous ones that you've done, which is good because you can retake those as well if you didn't do quite so well on them, which is useful. It is just loading a little bit. I'm on a bit of some sketchy Wi-Fi today. Hopefully it's going to come for us so we can see before we finish. There we go. So once that's loaded, again, we could choose the topics, because you might be confident in some than others. And it'll make a little test with questions of multiple choice, true or false, or fill in the blank style. You can set a time of how long you want it to be, the number of questions, your country as well, and your educational level in there as well. High school or post-secondary, college, university will make the questions more difficult. As I said, this fits everybody kind of because of the content you put in, from kind of school to university, who has exams as part of their course. Hit go, and that will generate the mock exam for you, and then we'll put you straight in. I'm going to go through this very fast and guess all the questions, just because we're a little bit out of time nearly, but we should be fine. Has anyone got any questions about what they've seen so far? All good. Just in terms of cost, a one-year license for a single user for a student costs $120 a year. If they want it for like a whole course, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then they get discounts on that. For AT-ACT programs, we have things such as the loan license library that you can purchase, which allows you to have a batch of licenses, which you can allocate and then take away. So you can give to a student. If they get on really well with the program, they can buy a full version, and then you can take that license back and perhaps give it to another student as well. But we also give out licenses to professionals as well. Right, so I'm going to just guess these, as I said. Set to, I'm going to say false. Let's go. Synovial, I think. Let's try that. So there you go, you can go through the mock test, spend much more time than I've done, and hopefully get a better result than, what did I get? 0. That's what you get. Thank you. But you know, I can see from here that I only used 54 seconds of 10 minutes. I didn't utilize my time. And you can go back and you can see what questions you got wrong and what the answers were as well. So yeah, that's our AT Software. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation today, and thanks for listening.